Her Facebook photos attracted a young, handsome lawyer. They began dating, and their pictures together showed a beautiful couple. However, this couple should have never gotten together. Hello, my miracles, and welcome back to Coffee and Crime, episode 63, If I Can't Have You. So grab your coffee and let's talk some crime. Ryan Poston was every woman's dream. He was smart, athletic, caring, kind, and determined. At only 29 years old, his life was falling into place. His law firm was going well. He was surrounded by a wonderful group of friends. His family was loving and supportive. And his love life, well, that was what he was working on. Trying to break it off with Shayna Hubers was a task he wasn't ready for. And during that time, he had met a beautiful and determined woman named Audrey Bolte. She was a former Miss Ohio, and it seemed they could be a perfect match. And on the night of October 12th, 2012, in the Cincinnati suburb of Highland Heights, Kentucky, Ryan was looking forward to the first date with Audrey. He was in his apartment, feeling safe and hopeful. However, Ryan had only a few minutes to live. Just after 8 p.m., a call comes in to 911. It's Shayna Hubers. She's seemingly out of breath and panicked. The 911 operator asks what's her emergency, and she says, "I killed my boyfriend in self-defense." The operator continues to ask questions while help is on the way. And in the last moments of the 911 call, Shayna says something that chills the soul. She says this: "Because he was twitching and I knew he was going to die anyway, and he was making funny noises, I shot him a couple more times just to kill him." Brought in for questioning, Shayna is read her rights, and she immediately asks for an attorney. But instead of keeping quiet while waiting for her attorney, she talks and talks and talks to anyone who would listen. She stated that Ryan would physically and mentally abuse her throughout their relationship. She then went on to describe Ryan's last moments. She stated, "I shot him once and didn't shoot again for a while, but I was watching him die. It was so painful to watch him die and to know that I had done that I just walked around the table and shot him where I know he would die immediately." While left alone, cameras caught Shayna singing, dancing in the interrogation room, spinning, smiling, and seemingly checking her vocal range. At one point, she snapped her fingers and said, "I did it. Yep, I did it." Shayna was officially arrested and put on trial. She was found guilty and sentenced to 40 years. However, less than a year later, it was discovered that a juror in her first trial had been previously convicted of a felony offense. And under the law of Kentucky, if you have a prior felony conviction, you are excluded from serving on a jury. Her conviction was overturned, and the judge ordered a new trial. The second trial focused more on Shayna's state of mind the night of the murder, instead of her original trial where she claimed self-defense. And of course, her attorney blamed the victim, making Ryan out to be an abusive boyfriend. Several surprise witnesses were called by the prosecution to refute Shayna's claims of being abused and her state of mind hours before Ryan's murder. Shayna took the stand, and what she said about Ryan was degrading and her last attempt to win the jury's sympathy. And if you're wondering what she was like on the stand, think Amber Heard. In her second trial, the jury found her guilty again and sentenced Shayna to life in prison. Shayna was clingy, possessive, and obsessed with a man she was dating on and off again for only 18 months. Ryan had been trying to end their relationship, and that sent Shayna over the edge. So on that night in October in Ryan's apartment, Shayna would shoot Ryan a total of 6 times. And every shot that she fired, evidence proved that Ryan was alive up until the last shot. Shayna Hubers always got what she wanted. And the only thing that she wanted in this whole entire world was Ryan. But he was already moving on without her. So maybe in her obsessed mind, that old saying kept repeating over and over. If I can't have you, no one else can. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Coffee and Crime. If you did, click that like button. And if you're not a miracle and want to be, click that subscribe button and watch a miracle happen. I'm Miracle Girl for Coffee and Crime. I'll see you next time.